Hey, Nolan, it's great to be back here with you.
Yes, ma'am. Good to be back to you, Meg.
So you're coming to me from the Raspet Flight Center, are you not?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Occasionally we can hear a pilot or two talking in the background.
Yes, ma'am. It gets quite noisy in the hangar.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's what it's all about. Well, listen, you have been practicing your takeoff and landings, and I'm sure that you're doing them confidently. What I'd like you to do is demonstrate for me a wing stall. And a wing stall occurs when a pilot does not depend on the rudder to lead the turn. So you're going to take off just like you normally take off with your takeoff and landings, but you're only going to navigate or steer the plane with the right stick. You are not going to use the rudder at all. And I want you to show how difficult it is to maintain attitude. Um, oh, I see. You're checking your trims there?
Yeah,
It's,
the elevator trim was off in our last lesson. It was really wanting to dive, so I just wanted to make a small adjustment.
that's all right. That's what that trim button's for. The trim button that you just corrected on the left side of the right stick is for the elevator. Nolan, just for fun, show us the trim button on the ailerons. It's at the bottom of the right stick. That's right. So you can move it right or left. Does it beep when you get to center? Or it goes out of
No,
color? It
ma'am.
goes.
It'll stop. It'll go out of color when you get to center.
There you go. Good. Excellent. So you have your trim. You've trimmed out your elevator so that the aircraft doesn't dive. All right. So what I'd like you to do now is go ahead and take off, but do not steer with the rudder. I want you to take off and only use the ailerons and the pitch to bank, the elevator to bank. So now you're going to turn and notice the steep um, angle of the aircraft. Try to make a figure eight with only your ailerons. Oh, it's tempting to want a rudder, isn't it? Now, you have
Yeah,
safe technology on right now, so it is trying to keep the aircraft level, but it's really hard to do.
yes, ma'am.
It's really hard to do. Now, try to make a figure eight with your rudder. Kick your rudder in. There you go. And notice how the plane attitude just stabilizes completely, longitudinally. You don't have as much climb, fall. You don't lose as much altitude in a turn when you're ruddering. And
Yes, ma'am.
it's really important to rudder through. And students have to get used to using their left stick. So tell me, Nolan, you're making a left-hand turn now, and you're going to continue doing a figure eight. Then I want you to make a right-hand turn. Which is easier for you, left or right hand circles?
The left hand is easier than the right hand.
Sure. This is left hand dominant flight.
Yes, ma'am.
Fixed wing is left hand dominant flight. Quadcopters, you'll learn in future videos, is right hand dominant flight.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is natural that our circles don't feel even. In time, with more practice, you will overcome that weakness in the right hand.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
but it's just practice.
Yes, ma'am.
It's brain training, if nothing else.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and stop the aircraft, put it throttle in neutral 0, and hit reset. And what I'd like you to do is let's change modes of camera type. So view camera type, put yourself in the chase mode. Excellent. Now we need one more tool to do this. Go ahead and get a gadget called a heads-up display, number 9. Excellent. Now look at the back of the airplane. There's a circle with 3 spokes coming out of that back window. And there's
Yes, ma'am.
two long lines to the right and the left of it, and they are not in line. They are not in line with the 2 spokes, but they will be once the aircraft is flying level. And notice on the right-hand side, there's a display that says 0. That is for 0 feet altitude. You are looking 90 degrees east,
Yes, ma'am.
and we're going to go ahead and fly the same pattern, the takeoff and landings that you did earlier, but we're going to do it in chase mode. And this will help you appreciate um, that you're doing the same thing on the ground in fixed position as you are in chase mode. There's no difference in the controls. I'll tell you when you get to 200 feet and have you level out. You just pay attention to keeping those two long lines in the bubble. What do you call that in an aircraft? What is the device in the aircraft that tells you your aircraft is level?
Your attitude indicator?
Yes. Yes. So we're not quite level yet, but our aircraft is on the ground. So go ahead and get ready to take off, and I'll tell you when you're at 200 feet, and then you're going to get the circle. There you go. There you go. Now your attitude just about got to 0. All right. You're at 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet, 75, 100, 110. 130, 150, 170, 180, 200. Level out. All right, go ahead and make a 180-degree turn. There you go. Your
I want to
attitude.
dive really bad. I need to. There we go. All right. Yeah, she needs a lot of trim today. I don't know why.
Interesting. Go ahead and make a 180-degree turn. Try to keep that attitude indicator. Now head back to that mountain. That's the same. There you go. There you go. There, that mountain right there. Go ahead and head straight to it. A little bit to the right, please. Right, 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 right. There you go. Follow that to the right. There you go. Just, yeah, follow this direction. And try to get your attitude. If you have to pull back on your right stick to get your nose up a little bit, get that 0, get the circle in line with the 2 sticks. There you go. That way, it's hard. Okay. Good job. All right, you'll notice down below is a cattle trail. And we're going to fly over that cattle trail, and then up ahead is a road. So this cattle trail, you pay no attention to, you fly over it. But up ahead, there's a road. And as soon as you cross the road, you're going to make a 180-degree turn and come back around 180 degrees towards the airport. One of the reasons you might be having this problem, Nolan, is you're only flying at 50% throttle, and this aircraft was meant to fly at 70%. So you'll notice that it's, now you're climbing. That's because your trim is so trimmed out.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, this is supposed to be a 70% throttle. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you definitely need to be at 70%. And that's true with the aircraft that we train with in the field. All right, now that we've crossed the road, go ahead and turn 180 degrees. There you go, using your right stick to keep that nose attitude. And you should be heading back to the airport here very shortly. You should be able to see it in front of you. There it is. There it is. Now the runway that you need to align with, go ahead and continue to fly straight as you are. Don't align yet. You've got a ways to go. There you go. Just keep flying straight. I'll tell you when to turn. Notice that you're at 55% and you're dropping. So put your throttle at 60%. There you go. Yeah, we don't want to lose altitude. There you go. That's how you keep from losing altitude, is you get your throttle in place. All right. You can drop now to 50 because we need to start descending. Go ahead and start descending. There you go. And you put your throttle at 45%. Continue to fly straight though. Don't turn yet. You can see the runway up ahead on your left, but don't turn to it yet. Let your aircraft get a little bit more tangential to it. Now go ahead and turn left to correct for the alignment to the runway, and continue to drop your throttle. Drop your throttle down to 40%. There you go. And fly straight, and then you're going to make a left-hand correction. Didn't quite get over the guides. There you go. And there you are. There you are. Excellent. Excellent. So what you did there is no different than if you had done it in fixed position as an unmanned. We were basically pretending what it's like to fly as a manned pilot.
Yes, ma'am.
But the controls are identical, whether you're on the ground or behind the plane. There's no difference. And
Yes,
I want students to recognize that what you're learning is applicable to manned flight as it is unmanned flight. You're learning controls. And you only get them under your control through a lot of practice. Go ahead and
Awesome.
hit reset. Let's get back into fixed position, which is the F1 key. If you tap the F1 key, you might go back there. Good. And let's shut off that heads up display. So we go gadgets and shut off heads up display.
All right.
Thank you. Good job. Excellent. Now let's go to view and let's turn on the trails. So view menu effects trails. Second item. Good. Excellent.
All right.
Now, these trails are going to help you recognize how level you are flying, what your attitude is. So you're going to do your regular takeoff and you're going to make a 180-degree turn and you're going to fly figure eights in an open pattern against these mountains. So you're taking off now. There you go. Now the goal here would be to make a figure eight in the sky that is all one level. Now you are flying at 50%. And it's a little easier to control the plane with a slower throttle, without a doubt. It's a little easier to control the plane. So let's do a figure eight right out there. Bring it back. There you go. See if you can bring that figure eight a little closer to you.
Oh, you want me to closer?
Yeah, yeah. See if you can keep it at the same altitude. Now you're flying pretty hot. You're at 90% now. See if you can reduce that about 20%. There you go. There you go. That's about right. Now you're still about 80%. Just a little hot. See if you can bring it closer. Bring it closer to you. Don't be afraid to fly close. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can hit yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now you're at 75%. This is a good speed. So bring it closer here so you can see the figure eight right in front of you. You're climbing. Your attitude is climbing. You notice look in your binocular. You can see that you're climbing. And that's probably because you've got the trim so trimmed out that you're just constantly climbing. So why don't you take that trim back? There you go. Trim is 50%. Now, at 70%, you should be able to hold your altitude, right? There's
Yes, ma'am.
there's two ways to gain altitude. One is to pull the right stick back, and the other one is to speed up. And there's constant play between throttle and the elevator to control pitch.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. Now you're doing it. See if you can make small figure eights now, right in front of you. Get real close in front of you.
All right.
You've got your speed at 75, 80, right in front of you, right there. And you'll have to use that right stick back to hold your altitude. There you go. Just tiny. This is tiny micro motions. Very good. Very good. There you go. There you go. So the goal will be to get smaller and smaller figure eights, holding your speed at about 70%, and holding your altitude between the right and the left. That's a lot of improvement. And then you get tired and you'll notice that the aircraft will fall off. And it's strictly because the right hand, the left hand are still learning to work together. That's all right. Excellent. Excellent.
All right.
All right. Good job. Good lessons. We've had some good fun here today. Now I would like you to go out and practice some acrobatics as in lesson number 6 in our flight program. You'll follow the guides for the online resources and you'll use the Timber X. Would you like to show us the Timber X?
Yes, ma'am.
You can also shut off the trails if you'd like. So view affects trails because they're noisy. You don't have a real great. Tell us about this plane, Nolan. You notice there's a
Uh,
flight mode switch. You want to move that flight mode switch down into the bottom right-hand corner?
all right, yes, ma'am. And so this is the E-Flight Timber X. So this is one of the electric powered aircraft that is made by E-Flight. It is a basic timber with a bit of a adjusted servos to where it has more servo travel, to where it is more capable of aerobatics, um, as in loops and rolls and inverted flight and things such as that nature. This plane also features flaps,
Show us
which will
those.
allow you to, yeah, we could show some flaps here. So as you see in the binocular flaps come down, you can also see it on the runway. So this actually is a device that allows you to go slower and maintain lift at slower speeds, basically to increase that stall speed, to be able to come in for landing and to set up for landing as to where you're not going too fast and coming in too hot over the runway.
Excellent, excellent. Well, then I'm looking forward to your next video on things that people can do in learning the Timber X. The Timber X is only available on RealFlight Simulator 9.0 and higher. But there are other planes that make great acrobatic, aerobatic uh, maneuvers, and you might find a couple of those for us as well. Start off with the Timber X, and then show us some other aircraft that you like to do in your next videos, okay?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
All right, thank you for your time here today.
Thank you.